Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Q&A for The Walking Dead Season 5. This one will be for August. This makes part 12 of my Q&A series leading up to Season 5. So I want to thank all of you guys for sending in the fantastic questions. I got hundreds of questions, and I won't be able to answer them all, otherwise I'd have to make like another 10 parts. And some of them, actually a lot of them, I have already answered at some point in time in another video or another part. So I don't want to be repetitive. I don't want to go over the same question twice. So if you don't see your question answered in the next couple of parts, I'll probably separate this up into 2 or 3 parts for this one. Over the next couple weeks, I'll do them, 1 a week probably. If you don't see your question in here, chances are I already answered it, or it just doesn't make sense for me to answer. It's more like a comment than a question, which in some cases they are. So that said, we don't have a whole lot in terms of new news for The Walking Dead. We have some rumors, some things that are kind of kicking around. There's one from Norman Reedus on Twitter that was released, and some people have kind of asked me to comment on it or give my thoughts on it. Basically, it alludes to the possibility of a character death in the series. He was thanking all the fans for their support, that kind of stuff, and talking about some of the music, U2, I believe, that you know, maybe kind of like a sad scene that they had just filmed or something like that. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you can Google it. You can find it on the internet. You know, just go to his Twitter if you really want to. I would think they'd be filming around maybe halfway through the season to a little bit over half at this point, I would think. So that could mean that we're getting a major character death at around that time. And the most common question I'm getting right now, or one of the most common, is do I think they'll kill off Daryl in the show? I've kind of talked about it before a little bit, so I won't go into too much detail, but no, I don't think so, even though he is working on like 3 things right now. So I think they'll probably just use him a little bit less. He's had a lot of screen time recently in the last few seasons, and I could see them coming back on that. So also there are some rumors, there's some you know, articles online. A lot of people asked me about this one as well too, with the possibility of Bob being killed off from the trailer, basically, because when Gareth is talking to Rick, he looks close to Bob. Maybe it looks like he stabbed Bob or something to some people. It's possible, but Bob is in a lot of the other scenes in the trailer. So unless Rick's group escapes with him and everybody else, and then they get recaptured or something and brought back, then that could make sense, but it doesn't look like it to me based on all the other scenes, because he's in like all the others. So I don't think that's what's going to happen, but you know, it's possible we could see some kind of cat and mouse. They escape and they get captured back or something. I don't know. We'll have to see what they've got planned for us for the premiere. I'm sure it'll be epic no matter what it is. So those are kind of the most common ones I get, so there it is for those. Now we'll get into the specifics, and I will be reading off each person who asked the questions. So thank you guys very much for all the great questions. I'll do this video about 10 minutes, and then I'll cut it for this part and do the rest in another part, just keeping track of my timing. Okay, so first question comes from Scarred Mind. He sent through a few good ones, or she. Thank you very much for them. They're very good. First question is, Trev, what do you think they're going to do with Tyreese? Possible death? What does he think I'm going to... Okay, what do I think they're going to do with him? He's an open book. I've kind of talked about it a little bit before, so I won't go into too much detail, but I could see them killing him off this season because he's already dead at this point in the comic books, but he hasn't had that much time either. Like, he had some time there with the Karen David thing, Season 4, a little bit in Season 3, but not too much. And there are a lot of different guys at the top in terms of Rick's group. There's Abraham, Daryl, Tyreese now, and also Glenn's kind of there. So, and you'll have Eugene and the others, you know, so... Yeah, Gareth will be included in there as well, too. So it's really, I think it's pretty likely we could see a death from him this season or the following season, or at least within a few. I don't think he's going to survive that long. I don't think he's going to be a long-term survivor. So I'm expecting a death from him within the next couple seasons. Next question from Joshua White. He asks, The Walking Dead spinoff or Better Call Saul, which one are you more excited for? So that's a good question. I am very excited for Better Call Saul because I really like the actor who plays Saul, Bob Odenkirk. I liked him in Fargo. I thought he was great, and I think his series is going to be awesome. So I am super excited for that series. But the Walking Dead spinoff, we haven't even seen a picture of the spinoff series yet, so that's the reason why at this time I'm not. It's been announced, but you know, I'm almost worried about it because I haven't heard anything about it for a while. So I hope we start seeing something for that pretty soon. I know they're filming The Walking Dead right now for the original series, but the spinoff, they should start that soon. If it's supposed to be a 2015 launch for that, which it is supposed to be, we should see something coming pretty soon. So, but I'd say overall, I'm more interested in the spin-off series for The Walking Dead, even though I have missed Breaking Bad a lot, and I don't want to say draw. I always hate to say I'm equally excited for both. I always hate to do that. It's a cop-out. A lot of people always say that because they just can't rationalize and come up with a way to kind of, decide which one, between a binary either-or type situation. I'll say I'm more excited for The Walking Dead spin-off, but we haven't seen anything from it yet. So, I do miss Breaking Bad. I can't wait for Better Call Saul, and I can't wait for the spinoff. But the spinoff, I think, has a lot of potential because The Walking Dead, even with the video game and The Last of Us and other stories like that, if it sticks to that formula, it's a formula that's always good, I think. Similar to like comedy shows like The Simpsons and stuff like that. They can go long running because it's a formula that always works. People are always interested in that. And there's a genre for this type of drama series, I think. And there'll always pretty much be a need for that, whether it's Lost, some of the others we've had, Prison Break, Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, all these different types of shows. I think there's always a market for people to want to see that. So great question. Thank you, Josh. Next question from Matthew Faggan is going to be, what's the best way to handle Negan's intro into the TV series? I think the most important thing with Negan is that they pick somebody good. It's got to be somebody like some of the people I've mentioned in the past before. I think Bruce Campbell's a great choice. The guy who played the Tick, I forget his name offhand. Vinnie Jones, I've mentioned, is a good choice. There's a lot of different good choices. John Hamm, no, I don't think so. I think he's a bad choice for Negan. People have talked about that. Even Robert Kirkman's been asked about that, and he said he thought he was a good choice. No, I don't think so at all. He's not funny. He's too serious to me. I don't think he's a good choice for Negan at all. You need somebody really funny for Negan. You do. They better choose the right person for that. Otherwise, that could go wrong in the TV series. So for Negan, they got to choose the right person. And I think the sooner they get him introduced and then have him disappear, the better. So we should start seeing within season 5 or 6, we should start hearing about the Saviors. We should start either get a glimpse of him, see something with him, and then have him leave again. That way he's not just introduced like all of a sudden he just walks up in an episode like we saw with Abraham and the others. I'd like to see him sporadically introduced, them see signs of what they do, them hear about them from characters that maybe get killed off right after or something like that. Some rumblings, a season or 2 ahead before he's introduced. That's the best way to do it. And then you could kick it off with a big character death from someone we really care about in the series when he comes in, but not who it is in the comic books. That was smooth there. I didn't spoil it. You see that? I'm getting better at not spoiling things as I'm talking, even though some people don't like it. The people that know don't like it when I speak indirectly, but I'm trying not to ruin as many things as I possibly can. Next question is from Shushman16. Says, can you do a video giving your thoughts on Star Wars? Are you a fan? And if so, are you excited for Episode 7 coming out in December 2015? Star Wars, I am a huge fan of Star Wars. I am. It's one of my... It's one of those, movie trilogy. It's one of those I get really excited for. When they come out with a new Star Wars movie, like even Revenge of the Sith, I love that movie. Even though a lot of people don't like Hayden Christensen's Darth Vader, I loved it. I love Star Wars. Yeah, it's amazing series. I've even read some of the comic books, which I didn't care for too much. I've seen some of the video games, and they look really good. Some of the MMO RPGs. I think they're MMO RPGs, stuff like that for Star Wars. Really cool. Really love Star Wars. Really excited for it. If we see a trailer and stuff, I'll be sure to review it. I'll be sure to get it out there. I've even thought about doing throwback reviews of Star Wars. But I don't know. I'm pretty busy with the stuff I have already. It's kind of a universe that you can get started in, and you can just get lost in. There's so much content for it, and there's so much stuff for it. Like with the figures, you guys know I collect figures. So at one time, I started buying a couple Star Wars figures, and before I knew it, I was like looking at all these, and I'm like, whoa, I gotta stop because it's a dense universe, and it's something you can get wrapped up in. Like even more so than The Walking Dead, I want to say. There's more of a history, of course, and there's more people that are like really avid Star Wars fans. So I think Star Wars is great. I've always enjoyed it, and I always think it's awesome. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking out later ones, and I'll do reviews of the new movies as they hit for sure. Next question is from cSxBlood. He or she asks, will we see the character Paul Monroe or Jesus in season 5 of the series? I would say probably not. but I'll probably do a video on him anyway, explaining who he is, giving my thoughts on the character, what I think about him. I think season 6 for him, but they could do the Negan thing that I was just talking about, which is they could kind of introduce these characters and then have them leave. So in and gone quickly, you know, in and out, that type of thing. That's what I want to see. I want to see the characters kind of be filtered in with that whole storyline with the Negan, different Alexandria, Safe Zone, Hilltop, different locations like that. I'd like to see some kind of, you know, interaction with those characters first, before we see them become full-fledged, you know, characters in the series. So come in and then leave for a while and then come back. I think that's a really cool way to do it. And we'll do one more question for this part, and I'll separate it for the next part. Next question is from Bailey Stewart-Fairbairn. Says, how many people do you think will die in the main group in Season 5? Really, really good question. Based on the trailer, I don't think we're going to see too many early on. Based on Norman Reedus' comments, sounds like we're going to see at least 1 or 2 mid-season. Then, of course, we have 16 episodes. That's a lot of episodes. Somewhere between 2 to 4 from the main core group makes sense to me. So I would say probably 2 or 3 is a pretty safe bet, at least. 4, maybe. 5, you know, I don't know. That'd be a lot. That'd be like early Walking Dead when we started to see, like, we had a big main group and then we just one at a time just started to see people or characters be killed off like nothing, which was pretty exciting, to be honest with you. So I'm going with somewhere between 2 and 4 likelihood. I guess we'll do an average. We'll say 3 is what I'm thinking. So that's quite a bit. I mean, last season, did we get? You'd have to go over. It depends what you consider to be main group or not. So thank you guys for the great questions. I'll call it here for my first part, and I'll produce the second one as soon as I can and get it out to you guys pretty quickly. I try to space them out a little bit depending on how many other topics and stuff I have. So thanks for all the questions, guys, and I'll continue in the next Q&A part 13 fairly soon. I can't give you an exact date. Within a week, I'll say. Okay, how about that? If you guys like the video, please thumb it up below. Please like the video. If you want to help support the channel, please share it. Please favorite it. And yeah, call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. It's Trev, as always, and I'm saying peace.